Live from the Rockabessa, Hitchin Hearts UK, in association with Bloodfire Studios and AJLR Media. Welcome to the Big Debate Show. I'm the judge, and each and every Monday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m., you, the viewers, will be able to have a debate with me. But before I go on any further, let me introduce, if you haven't seen her before, my co-host, Anna.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm good. I've actually missed being here. It's because we weren't here last week.
That's
I felt
right.
a little bit lost. So, yes, nice to be back.
It's good to be back, and the weather's been beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Definitely been spending and taking advantage of the good weather because you just never know when it's going to disappear.
That's right. And to all my viewers, if this is the first time you've tuned into the show, I'm going to tell you exactly how to get involved in the show in a moment. But on tonight's show, courtesy of my co-host, the topic is, would you like to say it? I'll let you say it.
Should the UK ban online porn?
Should the UK ban online porn? If you've got something to say, an opinion, male or female, we don't care. As long as you pick up that phone or text in, I like to hear from you. Ban. Anna. That means no more. That means when you press the button, you can't access it anymore. So why on
Okay,
earth?
well, when I was thinking of topics, to bring onto the show, I asked a few people what sort of topics, would be an ideal. There was lots of differences between people's opinion on porn and online porn. And I work with a lot of young students, and it was just seeing it from their perspective as to how it sort of demoralised their way of thinking of how a healthy sexual relationship is, and perceiving male or female.
Okay.
So,
as what sex?
and I was shocked. I was like,
Objects?
wow. Yeah, well, not just sex objects, just in certain aspects of online porn that is easily accessed is
degrading.
horrible. It can be really, really horrible. And we want to teach our young, that sexual physical activity is a healthy thing.
And it's not. So would you say it's not healthy? Online porn.
I think that there is a perception that online porn can be classed into, especially with men, a bit addicted, too addicted.
Addiction. A lot of people have addictions these days. Some are good, some ain't so good. But online porn, when you brought that to my own world, and I thought,
Did you go, no, Anna,
oh no,
you're destroying me?
Well, destroying me? I won't say I'm one of those guys that sit there all day going online, but let's take it back when I was growing up. And it's a lot to do with knowing about sex. And to be quite frank, I didn't really know too much at school until someone gave me a few videos.
Okay. What age were you then?
Age, I'm talking age 14 to 15.
Okay.
And they said, Judge, watch this, And I would say there's most men out there, let's start off with the men. Most men have seen porn sometime in their life.
Yeah.
And the feedback that I've got from the men, Anna, is no.
What? No, what?
Don't you dare ban it. Don't you dare ban it. No.
It's a bit strong. No. But I have spoken to male friends as well, and it's actually been, online porn is one of those things that's educated them into.
In what way?
In just knowing what to do in the bedroom.
Know what to do.
Yeah.
So it's healthy then?
Okay, well, no, I'm not saying that it's, completely healthy, but there has been some benefits about it.
Of course.
However, I do believe that it can be very detrimental to your health for male and female, because not just men watch porn,
Okay.
women too. You know, let's not say that, okay, maybe majority of it is men, but I know that there are women out there that do.
That watch porn.
Yeah, we're all adults here.
Yes.
I've seen it. You know, and it has been an advantage in some relationships. But I think okay, if I'm going to give an experience, one of my first ever relationships, and we didn't have online porn then.
Before you say that, keep that where you are.
Okay.
I'm going to turn back to the viewers. If you've just tuned in, we're talking about should the UK ban online porn. And if you want to get involved in the show, the number to call is 07818 361 551. It's on the screen, 07818 361 551. If you feel like you don't want me to hear the voice, use a text with that same number, or use our Facebook or Twitter page. If you're going to use Twitter, leave out the W. Back to you, Anna.
Okay, so one of my first relationships, I was with somebody, and I hadn't realised that he was into that sort of thing. So I was about, 18 years old.
So you're not that young? You weren't that young?
No, I wasn't.
You wasn't that young?
But it was surprising, because when we sort of were together, I realised, there's a lot of magazines there, and
Yes.
there was a lot of
Yeah.
porn magazines.
A
I was
lot
like,
of porn.
okay. But then I felt really uncomfortable with it, because it was just there, and we were thinking about living together.
Okay.
And I was like, well, the magazines aren't coming to our house. And we had a really big argument about it, that it was his and it's part of his life.
And he wanted them.
It had to be with him.
He
And I
wanted
thought,
the books in the house.
Yeah. And I was like, really?
Mm-hmm.
Porn magazines in the house? I was like, I
What was
felt
his
really
age?
uncomfortable.
What was his age?
I mean, he
if
was
you
in
don't
his
mind?
20s. I mean, it was
in his
one of
20s.
it was our first relationship, and I think we were just sort of
Yeah.
trying to get to know
Know each other.
ourselves.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I'm not bringing in porn magazines into our home that we're going to start together. I just thought that was a very, very bad sign from. I don't know whether it's because I was naive into the fact that I was young and those were things that I considered to be in the house.
Well, to all my viewers out there, you just heard one experience there, and I'll say this to you. When it comes to porn,
Do men have this very strong attachment to it?
well, you've proved it to me already.
It does.
You've
because
proved
I'm
it
gonna
to
say,
me.
Our relationship was on the line because of
Because
that.
of that.
Yeah.
I would say that a lot of the times it can take over your life. And I would say if it can cause, as I've already seen, friction. It's a thing that with men it can be addiction, just like anything else. If you overdo it and you want more, it's like a high. You want the next high. So it's not like you said to me he had one magazine.
No.
He had a few magazines. He wanted more information.
It wasn't even like more. It was that it was his collection.
Oh, so he was a collector of porn.
Which seems so.
There's
When I first saw them, I thought, they're just magazines for since he was young. I never thought nothing serious of them until the discussion of us moving in together,
yeah.
and that had to come with us. And I thought, that's not even. Where does it go?
That will cause a problem, because when a man or a woman has it so much that, and I've heard cases, Anna, where the woman wants to be satisfied in the bedroom, and I've heard cases where the man would rather watch porn than satisfy his wife or his girlfriend, or he spends more time watching porn, or as you say, the magazines, than being with his girlfriend. And
That is a dysfunction already. If you have a partner and your choice is to watch online porn, there's something wrong with you. It's a dysfunction. It has to be.
So why on earth?
Can you imagine the other person, how that other person feels? If your partner prefers to perform physical activities by watching porn, and what are you left with?
Nothing. Just a cup of water, maybe. Nothing, and a cold bed.
So just think of the things that are happening to the other person, right?
Yes.
Because I'm not saying it's just men. It might be women, but the other person's feeling unloved, unwanted, demoralized.
Yes.
Probably very insecure, vulnerable. Also that thought of, well, it could be classed as cheating, because really he's not sharing, or he or she is not sharing that.
I won't. No. Stop
No?
right there.
Oh.
And I'm not here to defend. People might think, oh, the judge knows all about porn. No, the judge doesn't know all about porn. But you said a word to me that I didn't like. You know what that word was?
Ban.
Cheating.
Oh, June.
I would say most women out there would rather their man watch a little clip of something on the screen than really go and cheat. So to go as far as you say cheating, I wouldn't say that, Anna.
I am going to have to stop you there, because a good friend of ours actually told us once that cheating can be, it's a totally different subject, but I'm going to put it out there. Cheating can be perceived in very different aspects.
Yes.
And one of our friends said that if a man or a husband gives his wife a foot massage, right, as part of their thing, but then he catches somebody else doing it, in his eyes it's kind of like cheating.
It all depends.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that conversation we had with our friend?
You know what? I can't remember.
Oh,
I can't remember, but I will say this.
I hope he rings up.
A foot massage. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, if that's their job, fair enough. If it's a close friend and the wife's in pain and she says, please rub my feet, that's no problem. But if it's a case of I walk in, oh yeah, of course, but we're not talking about foot massage tonight.
And we're not talking about cheating either.
And we're not talking about cheating. We're talking about the online ban of porn. Now, there's a lot of young men out there who are going to be angry with you tonight. Very angry. You want to ban something that they see as pleasure.
I think that consenting adults what they could possibly do is maybe filter it so that it isn't so accessible to the very young kids. I mean, I have young children and I can't have things popping up advertised everywhere, men, women. I mean, I just can't, it'd be horrible for me to have to explain to my son or, don't watch that, don't watch that. Turn it off. I don't know I wouldn't know what to do. I'm actually sweating thinking about ever having to
Go through
be in that sort of situation. Oh, I'm hot just thinking about it.
It's the Judge and Anna for the Big Debate Show. If you've just tuned in, we're live at the Rockabessa. If you've just tuned in, we are debating, should online porn be banned in the UK? Now, the number to call, which is on the screen, 07818. Be brave. 07818 361 551. You can speak to me live on the show or send in a text with that same number or use the Facebook or Twitter. I wonder who's going to call in. I wonder who has the guts to text. These kind of topics a lot of people like to listen to, but I'm getting to find out, Anna, they like to stay silent. They like to keep hush hush. But I'm coming back to you because I'm glad you've let me in by sharing that first time experience. You didn't have to, but you did. And I respect that. But young men, the younger men, they're like bulls. young bulls.
Mm.
And I remember at school, when it came to porn, some guys used to bring in magazines. And we all used to crowd round to see the pictures. We were so excited.
But that's
Anna.
okay. I think, that wasn't so easily accessible though, was it, Judge? I mean, you wouldn't think, now a young boy can
Yes.
be in his bed and it's there.
And it's there.
On his tablet, on his phone, on the computer,
Yeah.
advertised when he's, playing some game or something.
Well, this is what I'm going to say to my viewers, and this is what I'm going to say to you, Anna. You bring in the kids, and of course, we have to safeguard the kids. We have to make sure that they're safe. That's the responsibility of the parents. Yeah? And I will put it down to the parents, not the kids, because kids will always try to go that extra mile. They will always try and do something that they're not supposed to. So I think it's down to the parents. It's the parents' duty to make sure any phones, tablets, PCs, they've got the devices on them that they can monitor the kids. So it's down to the parents, Anna.
Okay.
And they've got the responsibility to know what their kids are doing in that bedroom.
I do agree with some of that.
It all depends what age too.
But I'm also going to say is that the younger kids now are so much more advanced in technology that
They will get round it.
they're not even, the parents aren't even on par with them with that.
Which is true. Yeah. I know the kids nowadays, they're very up on it, and
So maybe we should make it a little bit more harder for them to access it rather than, the parents should have responsibilities, but...
it boils down to age, Anna. It boils down to age, because if you've got a
so
child
what age would be appropriate, do you think, to
For-
almost like to accidentally...
look on porn,
Yeah.
I will say, and I will say it to my viewers, tell me if I'm wrong or right. Phone in the show. But I would say if it's okay to start watching porn, then in my eyes, it's okay to start having sex. Because the reason why I say that is I wouldn't want my 13-year-old or my 14-year-old telling me they're watching porn.
No, I just...
Yeah? Because in my eyes, they're still underage.
See, that makes me feel a little bit sick. Thinking of
Yes,
kids
yes. But
that age.
it's happening though, Anna. It's
Yeah,
happening.
but if you're saying...
So when you're saying to me what age, I will say how I feel that I think is the right age and how I feel comfortable is when they are ready to have sex. So not age 12, looking on all those things on men and women having sex,
But
13, 14.
if they do get exposed to that at such a young age...
Which they do.
Yeah.
Which they
so
do.
What you just said, so if they think, okay, well, I'm watching it now,
Mm-hmm.
they know what they're doing. They've got this illusion in their heads
Yeah.
that they know
Yeah.
what sex is about.
And a lot of young kids are having sex. Let's not get it twisted. A lot of 14, 15-year-olds are having sex as we speak. They are having sex. But we still have to try and keep that line. We have to push against that line.
The thing is, I'm thinking I'm coming up against something that's never ever going to happen because I guess porn is one of the biggest industries.
Makes a lot of
sex,
money.
Big industry.
Big.
Technology, massive, huge industry.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think you're right in the sense that parents should have more responsibility, but also I think I was reading an article that David Cameron has started a movement in making sure that it is less accessible for teenagers and young kids, and more education on sex and relationships should be happening so that they're more aware.
It's very easy for the Prime Minister to put his beak in, and say what he would want to do, But the reality is this. Kids are very smart, as you said, these days. They are very clued up.
Yeah, it's this generation now, because
Yeah.
it wasn't, online porn wasn't there for us.
Oh, no,
It's
no,
this
no.
generation right now that
No.
are going to be raised in an environment where everything is accessible, including porn. Our children
Yes.
are the generation.
Yes. And I will 100% agree, you know, those young kids, keep them away from it. You know, I mean, there comes a time where when they reach 16, you can't tell them you can't watch this and you can't watch that. When they reach 18, you can't tell them. But underage, when they're not even supposed to be having sex, of course, don't get it twisted. They will always try and have a look. They will always try and take a peep. Because when I was young, I remember when I was growing up, Anna, it's true, we never had online, but we had video cassettes. My viewers.
And where did these videos come from?
I tell you something, the videos came from the video shop. To be truthful.
The kids couldn't have bought them though.
No, they didn't. But the older guys used to go in there, and we used to watch it like it was like a cinema. I wouldn't say I was a young kid. You know, I can't remember when I started, but you know, it could have been 15, it could have been 14, it could have been 16. But I remember them pushing in the cassette, and everyone's ready like popcorn time. You know, what are we watching tonight? I'm not gonna give any titles away, but
It's so weird.
it was
that,
exciting.
It's so weird that boys would gather together. Men wouldn't do that now. Can you imagine? You wouldn't though, would you? Exactly.
With popcorn? No. Not nowadays. I'll tell you something what men will do. They will sit by themselves. A lot of men would say it's healthy, Anna. Let's go a little bit more.
I don't think. I actually think that I disagree. I think that
It's not healthy?
Yeah, I don't think it's healthy. Not.
A lot of men would watch something and think, ooh, you know what? I like that. I mean, a lot of people will say that, you know, it is degrading, yes, and you know, it's especially the religious people, no chance. You can't talk about porn. You cannot bring that.
Yes, somebody has said.
You can't bring that
porn
in.
is the work of the devil.
Of the devil, you know, and that's their opinion, and a lot of people will say yes, it's the work of the devil.
Well,
that's if you're a religious person, but
I've spoken to a few couples, and you know, they've said that it's fun.
it's fun. It's
them.
healthy.
Yeah, it's healthy.
It's
for them.
healthy, and it's brought excitement to the table. It's brought a lot of excitement.
But that's a couple.
That's a
right?
couple.
So, but what about on your own?
Sometimes, Anna, I'm not a woman, so I hope you're gonna say something about women, but I will say about the men. If you're a single man and frustration builds up in your body, and you haven't got what it takes to go out and date, and you've got a PC in front of you.
Oh God, the vision.
Yes,
Oh, God.
it happens, Anna, and I'm going to expose it tonight. You're in front of your PC. You're too shy, you're too timid, but you can go online. And there's a lot, I will say hundreds, maybe thousands of men that they feel they're comfortable by themselves watching what they need to watch.
Do you reckon it builds their do we have two texts.
Oh,
Let's read them.
okay, we've got two texts.
Okay.
Let's
Okay.
read it.
Go for the first one. Personally, I don't agree with porn. I think it's degrading and it shows a lack of respect. But if it were to be banned, wouldn't it push it underground?
It's underground now, but carry on.
Okay, next. Porn shouldn't be banned. It saves me a job when I've come in from a long day. Oh, my husband is able to enjoy himself without me and without cheating.
Who is that? Can you read that one again and nice and loud? I like
Yeah,
that
you
one.
like this
I
one.
like that one. Say it
Okay,
again.
okay. Porn shouldn't be banned. It saves me a job when I've come in from a long day. My husband is able to enjoy himself without me and without cheating.
All right, now.
Whoever texts that in, I want to know what you do when he's walked in on a long day and he doesn't want to do it. So do you access it yourself? I mean, like I said, as a couple, then that's very healthy, right?
Well,
You laughing?
I like that last text because there must be many women out there who would rather. But
Do you think that? Do you actually think that most women out there?
Not most,
that
not
are-
most.
Okay,
Some.
there are some women out
Some,
there
some.
who may be in a very long
long-term,
relationship,
yeah, and it's the
and
same
they can't be
old,
bothered with it.
because it's the same old crackers, yeah, and it's the
Oh my god!
yes, there are men and women out there. Look, we just had a text already. When I say the same old crackers, it's the. Remember, I said crackers, yeah. Some men and women who have been in long-term relationships, just like this person right now, it seems like the spice has gone out. The light is gone. There's nothing, there's no spice. So she's happy. And that's I wonder who sent that text.
Do you not
because
think that in the
she's
long-
more happy that her man comes in and does what he does.
No, man. Not. No.
That-
I do not want my man after. No.
No?
No. I can't. Don't get me wrong. You know, each to their own. If it works for you, brilliant. And I think, like I said, sometimes, and I have spoken to many couples that, you know, it can be very, very healthy for them to have that. But no, if I'm in the room and I've had a long day, and my partner
Comes in.
or it is home, and he tells me that he's going to go upstairs and watch porn after I've had a long day, it's not going to end very well.
Yes, but that's you, Anna. And there's women out there who it sounds like the one who just texted, she's not pleased with his performance. As she says, she's happy. It saves her a job. So when she says that, that
yes,
means
she did say that. Saves her the
it
job.
saves her the job. So
He thinks it's a job.
whoever just texts that, I know you're not gonna phone in, but it seems like she's bored. Bored housewives are dangerous.
I don't know
She's
if
not
she's
bored?
bored. She was saying after a long
saves her-
day.
yeah, it saves her the job.
Saves her the job.
So what's that mean then?
Because maybe
Go on
her
then.
partner is, you know,
Doing the same things?
No. Maybe her partner has a higher sex drive, because that can happen, right? Especially, okay, I've had kids, you know, and it happens when you have too many things to do as
Too
a
busy.
mother.
Too
You know,
busy.
you're working, you've got kids, you've got you don't feel that sexy. You don't
What
feel
saves
like you wanna,
you a job, Anna?
but it shouldn't be a job. You know.
This is the Judge and Anna for the Big Debate Show. We're having fun tonight.
I'm
We
actually
have-
getting hot.
I'm hot too, but I'm trying to control it.
Okay, next.
We have another text.
Okay. In response to the first text, it would push it underground. But aren't we talking about banning online porn only? Therefore, it wouldn't be pushed underground. It would just go back to how it used to be. Yeah, exactly my point. Yes. How we used to be able to access it accidentally, or magazines or videos, or not having, this is what this person, I'm going to read it again because I agree with this person, the reason why I chose the topic. So in response to the first text, it would be pushed underground, but aren't we talking about banning online porn only? Therefore, it wouldn't be pushed underground, it would just go back to how it used to be.
How it used to be.
Yes.
But let's go
And
back.
our generation of children now would have the same experience as we did, rather than the instant now information of what they're getting online, which is not reality.
Let's go deeper into this porn thing right now. We're going to go a little bit deeper into this porn thing. Anna, I remember, I'm not going to tell you how old I am, you might have known, but I remember back in the 70s, people used to go to the cinema to watch porn. but it wasn't
Wait.
the type of
I was
porn.
going to say, it's probably soft porn, more erotic.
It was more, they made it into like, it was more like a film.
Yeah.
It was big production, well, I won't say big production, but it was production, storyline, it was build up, and tongue-in-cheek played a massive part back in the 70s when it came to the sex scene, and people used to go to the cinema to watch it. There used to be a thing called, where now you've got 18, back in those days it was XXX, and when it was a sex movie, it was XXX.
Is that why it's called X-rated?
X-rated. And then it started from the cinema to videos. And then from the videos, people started making DVDs. And then from the DVDs now, it's online, so people won't go to the shops anymore. You could go to your video shop and get your porn movies. But it was movies. It wasn't like now it's just direct, straight in your face.
But that's what I mean. And this is how direct it is. So when you are watching TV, whichever channels you have, provider, Sky or Virgin, there are now channels that expose.
Yes.
My 10-year-old can read.
Yeah.
So I don't want him to read things like, with the picture of
With
the
the picture.
boobs and the whatever.
And the number to call.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
How do I know that?
And the number
judge.
to call. Yeah.
What do you think, my viewers? Is it time to ban online porn in the UK?
Or exposure to it as well, like exposing it so much. Like it shouldn't be.
Sex sells, Anna.
Sex does
It's
sell.
big business,
it does,
Anna.
It does. But as consenting adults, we know this. We know this. So we know where we need to go if we want to. I mean, there's Soho, there's Chinatown, they've got Soho. There's
I've never been there,
places.
I've never been there, and I tell you the truth, and I will tell you and the viewers. You see, when it comes to that kind of scene, even sex shops, I've never been a fan. Maybe I'm too old-fashioned.
Well, they've got Ann Summers now, and that's
Yes.
like a high street.
Yes, which is but I've never been one to go down to the red light district, and look. It's even to peep. It's not been my type of thing. But that's another story. What we're talking about tonight is banning online porn.
Yeah, well, the exposure to it.
Yeah, I will go as far to say I think it's impossible. It's impossible.
I don't believe that it's something that can happen, but
Because you just have to tap in anything and it comes up. And it doesn't say...
Well, what I liked, right? I
Yes.
mean, at the weekend, I was having a meal, and I thought, okay, well, whilst I'm having a meal, I'm gonna do some research as well on it.
Okay.
So it was a Toby Carvery's and in Kent, and I typed in, should online porn be banned in the UK?
Mm-hmm.
So anything that involved the word porn or sex, I couldn't search for it.
You couldn't search
No. So I was thinking, is the internet working? Because
Yeah.
I connected to their Wi-Fi. Is the internet working? And it wasn't. The internet was working, but it was the fact that they already had, I guess, some form of filtering as to what
Which is
people
good.
can
Yeah,
do,
yeah. And I
what they can search and stuff.
I do like the sites where they say, are you 18? But then you got the sites where they say, are you 18?
If you're 15, you're gonna say yes.
You're gonna say yes.
Exactly.
So it is. We have to protect the kids. Let's get that straight.
Yeah.
We have to safeguard the kids. But you said to me at what age? And I said, how I feel is when you can start to have sex, but everyone watches it younger than 16. Most people would even if it's a mistake, especially the boys. I don't know too much about the girls, but boys, once they start reaching their teenager, the hormones start kicking in from their 14.
I think the girls
it's like,
have always liked the whole romantic aspect of,
they're taken out for dinner.
Yeah, well, we grew up watching things like, Dirty Dancing and Pretty Woman, who was a prostitute,
Yeah.
and it was about sex. That was about sex. Dirty Dancing was about sex. Pretty Woman was about sex. But there was, like you said, there was love stories against it.
It's a bit classy.
There was a build up. So I guess with women, there's a lot more romance involved for them to almost be excited. But with men, as you said,
Instant.
group watching it with popcorn.
Men need instant, especially when you're young. And I think it's a part of a man trying to find himself too. Trying to know his own body. And when you're growing up.
See, I want to know this about men. What is it that you can see in a activity that's obviously an act that
Is a turn on?
it will, not just a turn on, but what are you learning?
What are you learning?
Because it's act, isn't it? It's an act. They're not real.
It is an act.
They're not real in a sense of they're in a relationship.
It's an act, but if you ever watched WWF, that's an act.
It's true.
And there's
WWE.
WWE, that's an act. And people are still flocking to watch that. So
even with wrestling, I mean now, because my boys are so into it,
Yeah.
there's these divas and oh
and
god.
that's an act.
Yeah,
And
it is.
I'm gonna let you into a little secret of men tonight, Anna. A little secret of men. It's
Before you speak,
Okay.
just going back to the wrestling,
Yes.
okay? Because my 3-year-old is very into the wrestling.
yes.
It is an act, and
Yes.
but they actually say,
Yeah.
don't they? Kids, do not do this at home, because when you're watching porn, there's nothing there that says
Yeah.
these people are not actually
Okay,
in. Okay,
but I'm gonna come back to you on that then.
yeah, kind of.
When they say do not do it at home, you're trying to look me in my eyes and tell me your boys don't try to wrestle. Tell me your
Okay.
boys don't try and tell me your boys.
We
don't-
do it
Yeah,
together.
we do
Yeah,
it.
I know.
Yeah,
But
so they still break the rules.
They still, but the production companies put.
They put it in just for legal reasons. Yeah,
Yeah,
they don't want no one to get killed. Yeah, but it's down to you because your boys are still gonna wrestle,
Yes.
gonna tussle.
Yes.
Now back to the porn. That's what it's all about tonight. Online porn. Should it be banned? This is the Judge and Anna for the Big Debate Show. If you'd like to get involved in the show, you know the number to call 07818 361 551 or use the Facebook or Twitter page on the Big Debate Show. Twitter, leave out the W. Let me say this.
Go on.
Let me give you a little insight of how men think. I don't want to give away all the secrets because it's not fair. I'm not here to give you all the men's secrets, Anna. But I will say this. You know why men watch porn? No? I will tell you.
Well, okay. Oh, okay. To have an instant release.
Yes, to have an instant release, and it's a fantasy. It's a fantasy. Not all men will watch porn to have that instant release. Sometimes it's a fantasy. Some men get attached to the woman who's playing the part, and they will try and get all her movies. So it's a fantasy, and
It's actually following a character.
it can be. So it's quite a lot, but a lot of the time it is to release tension. Especially if the man is single or the man is frustrated. That woman who texted in, your man seems very frustrated. And if he has to run upstairs before he does it with his girlfriend or his wife, what's going on in that relationship? And there is a lot of times I can understand, when the kids, as you say, kids come into it, you've had a long day, you've come home, the last thing, I find out that sometimes the last thing on a lot of people's minds is sex. So, but sometimes the man feels like he needs it. So rather than stressing out the girlfriend or the wife,
I know, but if
He-
she's come back after a long day,
yeah, she's tired.
Right?
She's
Yeah,
tired.
she's tired.
She's very tired. Last
Wouldn't
thing
it
she
be
wants to
nice?
do. Yes.
that, you know, the other person sort of catered to her needs.
Maybe she doesn't want that to be catered for.
Maybe so.
And maybe he's decided,
he just
well,
she wanted to be left alone.
yes, she'd rather read a book or watch the dramas on TV. And that leaves the man who's very frustrated to, especially if he's got a very high sex drive, to think, what shall I do now? So, as she said, rather than him running out on the road, cheating, he would rather run into the bedroom
Wow.
and
to
go
to
online.
think that your man would cheat just because it just it's about discipline at the end of the day, isn't it? You wouldn't, if your other half wasn't satisfying you, you'd have to have a conversation about that, wouldn't you? You wouldn't just think,
Are you
what?
saying what? Do you know
I
how
don't know.
hard it is?
Okay. I'm quite a secure person, so my other half or partner, boyfriend, whatever, if things weren't going well, I don't know if I would feel that he was, he would go elsewhere just for sex.
No, but to expose a man, do you know how it feels for a man, Anna, to have his wife or his girlfriend say to him, you're not doing it in the bedroom. You're not hitting the right spots. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. I'm getting bored right now.
First of all, I want to know what she's watching to know that he's not doing it all right.
She might not be watching, is maybe what he's doing.
Yeah, but remember I was saying that some couples, if that is the case, then some couples do use online porn as a healthy way to get things spicy again.
Yes, it can be. And the other flip side of it is if you're a man and you choose, rather than satisfy your wife or your girlfriend, but you choose to go online, you know what I think, Anna? It overtakes your life. You rather go online, and it comes like, and just going back to what you said earlier, I'm starting to figure out why you said cheating. Because if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing with your partner, but you'd rather be in that dark room
Exactly.
with the tissues, I say to myself, that can be cheating,
Yeah.
especially if your wife or girlfriend is frustrated. But like the text came on earlier, it's a job that she doesn't have to do. Well, if you don't want to do it and you're happy with him going upstairs, shutting the room, closing the curtains, everyone for their own choice. Anna. Online porn thing, it's big business.
I know. The porn industry is a massive business. I'm not going to deny that. And I have spoken to people, and it can have its healthy aspect towards it as well. It's just, my take on it when it comes to sort of teenagers, kids, I do feel that they get a very different perspective in the way that we were growing up.
Really? Because that's a fantasy world. And the teenagers nowadays...
Teenagers are naive. They're not to know that that's a fantasy. They will reenact something like that because they don't know.
In the bedroom. I mean, what two people do inside the bedroom, that's what they do. But
imagine now, okay, I'm going to give you a scenario, give you a picture here. Okay, so a young boy has been watching porn, a young boy, let's say 13 years old. It's young, right? It's
okay,
young.
that's young.
But it
happens.
as young as 12 and 13-year-olds are exposed to porn.
Yes.
Okay? In this day and age, they are. That is the case. So they go to a party. They meet a nice girl who's also at that age.
Yes.
They start kissing, get to, first base, second base, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And his experience has only been through watching porn.
Yeah.
you do not think that he would try and reenact something very similar if he's watched something quite extreme?
You know, that is, you've got a point there. It all depends what type of guy he is.
Well, yeah, that.
Because sometimes a guy would watch porn privately and no one will ever know, and he'll still be a gentleman, you know, to the ladies. But that's another side to him, you know. He's starting to release himself privately, but out in the open, he's a gentleman. But to reenact, first of all, what the hell is he doing having sex at that age? Number two is, unless she is willing, yeah, that's going to be rape. So unless he's going to force her, so what's he seeing on there?
Yeah, exactly.
If he think he's going to do that, but then
If she's saying no, but he's seen in the online porn that the girl's saying no anyway.
yeah, back to the parents.
Okay, back to the parents.
Back to the parents.
Okay, let me give you another scenario, another one. So, everybody knows about the 50 Shades of Grey, right? So, I read the books.
Was it good?
Yeah, no, it was interesting, very, very interesting. But the film, I mean, the first part of the film was all very
I've never watched it.
romantic and
Okay.
all of that. But
what you
at
got
the
to
end of the
say?
day, the story about the guy is he was exposed to sex at a very, very young age. He was groomed. And the things that he liked doing, I won't ruin it for everybody, were quite extreme.
Quite extreme.
So as an adult,
Yeah.
this was hidden
Yeah.
in it was dominatrix basically,
Right.
dominating, and the girl had to be very submissive to anything that he wanted.
Yeah.
That involved chains and whips and all of this.
Chains and whips.
So I don't want to ruin it for people that haven't seen it.
I think
but,
most have.
but he was groomed at a young age, and that transferred into his adulthood.
Right. But I'm going to say this to you.
So the girl
Yeah.
that wanted to be involved with him
Yeah.
was exposed to
Yeah.
his hidden sexual activities.
Yes.
And he turned around and said if she wants to be with him,
she has
she
to do
had to be this submissive sex slave.
Sex slave. And I haven't watched the movie. I haven't read the books or the book. But I scratched my head at this one, Anna. You know why I scratched my head? Because and tell me if I'm wrong, most of the ones who got excited about that were women. Anna. The ones who got excited about the book were women. The ones who were disappointed with the movie were women. So what does that say?
The movie was actually altered.
Women loved the book.
No. The movie was altered to be a lot more romantic.
They spoiled it, I heard. And that's from women. Now, I didn't read the book, but when I saw on TV the queue, I didn't see men in that queue. I see women waiting.
It was the marketing and the advert and the whole, and they changed things around. So, in the movie, and like I said, I don't want to ruin it for people because there's going to be a number 2 and a number 3, I guess. So, in my point of view, after having read the book, he's not a nice man.
He's not a nice man, but you know what I figured out?
So you saying that women actually really want somebody like that?
What I'm saying, and I'm saying to you, and I'm saying to my viewers, that the majority that I saw talking about, reading about, buying 50 Shades of Grey were women. Now, I will say this to you. I would say that I wouldn't go as far as to say women wanted that to happen to them, but I think... Let me finish.
I got something to say already.
I think there's a lot of women that are very quiet and very shy, but when this book came out, they liked what this guy was. He was in control. They liked reading of what he was doing, and that really surprised me, Anna, that the women enjoyed.
I'm going to
What
flip
this
this
guy
because
is
I
doing.
actually mentioned the film as well. And again, it was very much led by women who liked it. Pretty Woman. Becoming a prostitute became like the best thing on earth. You know, when she met Richard Gere and took her to the penthouse.
Yeah.
So it's the same. It's kind of the same scenario. It's the way that it's been marketed.
Yes, and Pretty Woman.
To read a text.
Yeah, we got a text, but before I pass you to that, it made it high class, you know, high, and as we know.
But that's what they've done to the guy in 50 Shades of Grey.
Well, from what
Because from the book, he's not a nice guy.
No, I haven't read it, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. I've read a line or two, and from what I see, what that guy was, he wasn't nice, but women have enjoyed reading the book.
So do you?
It sounds like it has turned a lot
Do you know
of
what? You're
women
probably
on.
not very wrong there. I do
It
think
turned
that
a lot of women on. There must be women out there who like to get whipped. Is
There's
there
gonna-
women
no,
out
no,
there
no,
who
no.
like to get whipped, Anna?
I do not.
Not you.
No.
But do you
maybe,
think there's women?
Maybe. But
Maybe.
Also, it probably boils down to the fact that there are women out there that like the bad boys. You know.
Must. We got a text. We're closing the show soon. It goes too quick. It goes too quick.
Okay. This is an interesting topic, but I don't think online porn would ever get banned. The industry brings in too much money and targets individuals who may not get to see their fantasy woman in a sexual environment. Mr. Clark Kent.
Thank you, Mr. Clark Kent. I don't know who you are.
I do.
But I will say this.
Clarky.
I will say this. Don't have to expose him on the Big Debate
No,
Show.
that's not his name. I'm
Okay,
not.
okay. But I will say this. Real men. Real men. We know it's a fantasy. Real men will know that is a fantasy. It's not real life.
See.
But just like the book, yeah, just like the book, because I noticed you're saying about the men on the porn, and I'm going to say about the women on 50 Shades. It's a fantasy. So what do we do with it? It's in our minds, Anna.
Okay, exactly that. 50 Shades of Grey was marketed to women. So maybe porn is marketed to men. Because I don't necessarily think, and when I've seen porn, I don't necessarily think it's for the women really. It's because the women are the one that look beautiful. You know, they have their hair, makeup.
Men look nice on it too? You must have...
I don't know.
You don't think the men look hunky and fit? Big chests, six-pack, biceps, and what they got down there? Yeah. So I'm not going to
Look,
say...
okay,
yeah?
as an adult, when I've been in relationships, it's not been a bad thing. It's, online porn has not been a bad
It's
thing
not.
for some.
So that's why I had to not attack you tonight, Anna, but I had to say my piece. Because when you came up to me and
Mum
you
and Dad,
said...
if you're watching, I do not watch online porn.
When you came up to me and said, ban, already, I'm not saying I'm going to run home and I'm one of those guys who click on. But growing up, it played its part. And like so many other young men out there, they watch porn. And not in all circumstances, it's not a bad thing. When it starts to take over your life, like that woman said, it saves her a job. It seems like he's used to going upstairs and doing what he do. And that's not healthy. But porn can be healthy within couples. When you read that book, I'm sure there's some scenes that are very disgusting. I would say, and a book has more juice to it.
Yeah, there's
You've
more,
got to read.
there's a
So
lot more into
I
it.
could imagine how women run to get this book. It was the biggest thing. Why did women get turned on so much with 50 Shades? But I'm not here to promote that book. That's not what we're here about. It was all about banning online porn. And we've had a great show. And we're winding down. We've got about 3-4 minutes to go. So if you've got a text, send it in now and we will read it. We're not going to take any more phone calls. In fact, we didn't. And it didn't surprise me. It didn't surprise me. You know, a lot of people will be watching and
I
thinking,
think people are watching.
yes,
I think
and
people are watching.
and there'll be men that are sitting next to their wives or their girlfriends, and maybe the wives or the girlfriends don't know that when they go to bed, they're on to watch porn, and they don't want to say anything. But I think,
I
Anna,
think we've had a lot to say ourselves.
we have. It's been an interesting debate.
It was. I actually thought I'd be very. I thought, oh my
No.
god, this is awkward.
No, you've,
But,
you've listen. You're the co-host. You handle it well, and that's why you're on the show. And you've had a bit of experience in that too. But when you was growing up, and you said that you had a guy who had the
Oh
magazine,
yeah, the whole.
and I'm sure you're
putting
not
my
the only.
relationship online.
Yes, and you're not the only one. Look at that woman there. Saves her a job, and I'm sure there's plenty more others out there. You know, they come from work, the kids, they might have 3-4 kids. Last thing on their mind is that. So it takes a back burner. So a lot of men thinking, well, I still need it. But rather than me going out to cheat, let me go online. My viewers, I would like to say this as we're winding up the show. First thing I would like to say is thank you for watching the show live at the Rock of Bessa. I would like to thank Bloodfire Studios and AJLR Media. I would turn to you, Anna, and say it's been a pleasure. We kept it nice.
No, we did.
We didn't go too raw.
No, I'm glad. I'm glad.
You know, we can say what we want to say, but you know, we kept it nice, and that is good. So thank you.
No, it's
Thank
okay.
you. And the most important people are my viewers. I like to say thank you for everyone who watched the show, and for the brave ones who text into the show. Thank you very much. But before I go, next week's show is going to be Can Money Buy Happiness? That's next week's show, Monday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Can money buy happiness? Wow, what a show tonight. I'm exhausted.
All I'm going to say, moderation, people.
Moderation. That's with all walks of life. Thank you. And just, you know what I say before I go? Remember, we all have a voice, and the judge doesn't judge. I will see you next week, same time. Good night.
Good night.